Hello. It's time now. Time to let the whole day come gently to rest. You don't need to do anything more tonight. Nothing to finish, nothing to fix, nothing to carry with you into the hours ahead. Everything that felt urgent today can wait quietly until morning. It will keep. It will all still be there when you wake, and it will manage perfectly well without you through the night. Right now, in this moment, there is only you and the soft, quiet gathering around you, and a slow, gentle journey I would like to take you on, to carry you all the way down into sleep. So let yourself settle. Let the bed hold you. Feel how the mattress rises to meet you, how the pillow cradles your head, how the blanket rests its gentle weight across your body. You are held. You are safe. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to become. For the next while, you can simply lie here and breathe and let yourself be carried. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Let it fill you softly without effort, and let it go, long and slow, like a tide easing back from the shore. Again, breathe in gently, feeling the cool air move through you, and breathe out, letting your shoulders soften, letting them fall a little further from your ears. One more time, breathe in the quiet of the night, and breathe out the last of the day. With each breath now, let yourself grow a little heavier, a little softer. There is no right way to do this. You cannot get it wrong. All you have to do is lie here and let the breath come and go on its own, like waves that need no help from you at all. Now let your attention drift slowly to the very top of your head. Imagine a soft warmth resting there, like the faintest touch of moonlight, and let that warmth begin to move down through you, unhurried, loosening everything it touches. Let it soften your forehead. Let the little lines there smooth away. Let your eyebrows rest. Let the space between them open and ease. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let them sink back, still and calm beneath their lids. You don't need to hold them. You don't need to look at anything now. Just let them be soft and dark and at rest. Let your cheeks relax. Let your jaw unclench. Your teeth part just slightly. Your tongue rest low and soft in your mouth. So much quiet leaves in a loosened jaw. Let it come now. Let the warmth move down through your neck, releasing it, and across your shoulders, those patient shoulders that carried so much today. Let them melt down into the bed. Let them be done now. There is nothing more for them to hold. Feel the warmth flow down your arms, past your elbows, along your forearms, all the way to your wrists, your hands, your fingertips. Let your hands lie open and still, heavy and warm, every finger softening, every knuckle easing. Let your chest rise and fall on its own, slow and easy. You don't have to breathe in any special way. Just let your body breathe you, the way it always knows how, the way it has, faithfully, every moment of your whole life, even when you never thought of it at all. Let the warmth spread across your back, down, along your spine, one gentle notch at a time, until your whole back feels supported, sinking, resting fully into the bed. Let go of the small aches of the day. Let the mattress take their weight. Let your belly soften. Let it be round and easy, rising a little as you breathe in, falling as you breathe out. Let the warmth pool in your hips, loosening them, letting them grow heavy and slack, and let it flow down through your legs now, along your thighs, softening them, past your knees, down through your calves, releasing them, all the way to your ankles, your feet, the very tips of your toes, your whole body, warm and heavy and calm, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, held, safe, at rest. Take one more slow breath, and as you let it go, let yourself sink a little deeper still, as though the bed had grown softer beneath you, as though you were being lowered gently into something warm and safe and kind. There is nothing to hold on to now. You can let it all go. And now, as you lie here so gently, I want you to imagine that the bed beneath you is beginning very slowly to lift, not with a jolt, not with any sound, just a soft floating rise, the way a leaf lifts on a warm current of air, the way a feather turns and climbs on the gentlest breath of wind. The ceiling above you fades away into a soft darkness. The walls dissolve, quiet as breath, and you rise gently up through the still night air, wrapped in your blanket, warm and weightless, drifting upward beneath a wide and starry sky. Below you, the world grows small, the rooftops, the streetlights, the sleeping houses, all of it softening into a scattering of tiny golden glows, like embers cooling in the dark. The roads become thin ribbons of light. The towns become soft pools of gold, spaced out across the dark land, each one full of sleeping people, each one growing smaller as you rise. There is no fear in this, only wonder, only the slow, quiet drift upward, higher and higher, into the deep and peaceful night. You rise past where the birds fly, and past where the clouds drift, up through the cool, still air, higher than the highest mountain, higher than the tallest storm. The air grows thin and clear around you, and the sky above you deepens from blue to a deep and glowing indigo, and then softly to black. And you are not cold, and you cannot fall. You are held gently in the warm quiet of your blanket, rising as easily as a thought, as softly as a breath, drawn upward through the dark toward the waiting stars. Let yourself feel how safe it is, this slow rising. Nothing here can harm you. There is only the gentle lift and the deepening dark and the growing quiet, carrying you up and away from the sleeping world. Tonight we are going to take the longest, gentlest journey of all. We are going to drift slowly all the way to the edge of the solar system, past the moon, past every planet, one by one, out beyond the last of them, out past the frozen worlds at the far reaches, and further still, until we cross the quiet border where the sun's light finally fades and the great silence of the stars begins. There is no hurry. We will move slowly, resting at each place along the way. You don't need to remember anything. You don't need to stay awake for all of it. If you fall asleep somewhere out among the planets, that is perfectly right. That is exactly what this journey is for. Let the words carry you, like a soft current, and let sleep take you whenever it comes. I will keep drifting onward gently, whether you are awake to hear it or not. And you do not need to understand any of it. You do not need to remember the names, or the numbers, or the order of the worlds. This is not a lesson, and there will be nothing to recall in the morning. The names and the facts are only soft things for your mind to rest upon. The way your eyes might rest on a slow fire or on the gentle fall of rain against a window. Let them wash over you, warm and unhurried, and let go of any wish to hold them. All you need to do tonight is lie still and breathe and let yourself be carried gently out among the worlds. So drift with me now, up through the last thin veil of air, up to where the sky turns from deep blue to black, and the stars no longer twinkle but shine, steady and clear and endless. The first thing you notice is the quiet. Out here, beyond the air, sound cannot travel. There is no wind, no hum, no distant traffic. There is only a vast and gentle silence, softer than any silence you have ever known. It does not feel empty. It feels peaceful, like the hush of a room where someone you love is sleeping, a silence you could sink into and rest in forever. And there, hanging in the dark below you, is the earth, round and glowing and impossibly beautiful. Swirls of white cloud drifting slowly over deep blue oceans. The soft curve of the horizon glowing with a thin blue line of light. The whole of the sky you have ever known, pressed into that single delicate arc. From here you can see the night side dark and dreaming, scattered with the faint gold of sleeping cities. You can see the great oceans, dark and calm. You can see the pale swirls of storms far out at sea, turning slowly, silently in the night. Somewhere down there is your own quiet room, your own warm bed, and here you are, floating gently above it all, watching over the whole world as it sleeps, and around the very edge of the world, where the dark of night curves away, you may see a faint and gentle glow, a soft ribbon of green and rose light shimmering slowly above the poles, the auroras, the northern and southern lights, where the soft wind from the sun brushes against the world's unseen shield and sets the high air gently glowing. From down on the ground, they fill whole skies with slow curtains of light. From up here, they are a soft crown of color, resting quietly upon the sleeping earth, drifting, shifting, silent, and ringing the whole dark edge of the world is a thin blue line. The entire sky, the whole of the air that every living thing has ever breathed, pressed into one delicate glowing arc, so thin, so fragile, so gently holding all of life within it. Rest here a moment, just breathe, and watch the earth turn slowly beneath you. There is no need to go anywhere yet. Let yourself feel how small and safe our world looks from here. A soft blue home adrift in a sea of stars. Everything you have ever done, every place you have ever been, all of it is down there on that one gentle curve of blue and white. And tonight, you get to rest above it and simply watch it turn. Let your breathing slow to match the slow turning of the world, in and out, soft and easy. There is all the time in the world. There is more time than you could ever need. When you are ready, we drift onward. Earth slips slowly behind us, growing smaller, and ahead there rises a familiar friend, glowing pale and silver in the dark. The moon. We approach it slowly, and it grows and grows until it fills the sky before you, a great soft globe of gray and silver light. Its surface is calm and ancient, dusted with the marks of a history so old it makes the mind grow quiet. Wide, smooth plains, which early astronomers thought were seas and named them so. The Sea of Tranquility, the Ocean of Storms, the Lake of Dreams, the Bay of Rainbows, though no water has ever touched them. They are old floods of ancient rock, long since gone still, resting now in the gentle gray light. Their names are lovelier than the truth, and gentle enough to fall asleep to. The moon drifts around our earth, slow and faithful, and always shows us the same gentle face, turning exactly once for every circle it makes, so that its far side stays forever hidden from home. For all the long history of the world, no one on earth ever saw that far side until we sent small travelers around to look. It is a place of perfect, patient stillness. There is no wind here to stir the dust, no rain to wear the stones, no sound at all. A single footprint pressed into that soft gray powder could rest there, untouched, for 1,000,000 years, and then 1,000,000 more. And it is the moon that gently pulls the great oceans of the earth, drawing them slowly up slowly back, the soft breathing slowly back, the soft breathing of the tides, in and out, twice each day, for as long as there have been seas. Every wave that has ever soothed you on a quiet beach was set moving, in part by this silent gray companion, drifting faithfully overhead. It has been slowly drifting away from us, too, a little further each year, so slowly that no one could ever feel it, moving off into the dark, across ages beyond all counting. But tonight, it is here, close and calm and silver, and we drift low above it. Let yourself float over those silent plains, over the soft curves of ancient craters, worn smooth by unimaginable time. The light here is gentle, the shadows long and soft. Some of these craters are so wide that a whole city could rest inside them, and yet they lie utterly still, holding nothing but shadow and gray dust and the deep quiet of the ages. Everything is quiet. Everything is still. Let that stillness settle into you now, deep and calm, until your own thoughts grow as slow and quiet as this ancient gray world. And there, if you turn and look back the way we came, you would see the earth, hanging in the black sky above the moon's gray horizon. A small blue marble glowing in the dark. Earthrise, the travelers called it, when first they saw it, and it stopped their hearts with its beauty. That whole world, so far away now, so small you could hide it behind your thumb, and yet holding everything and everyone you have ever loved. Let yourself gaze at it softly, and then let it be and rest. Rest here a while. There is no hurry at all. There never was. And now, so slowly, you barely feel us move. We turn outward, away from home, toward the wider solar system, waiting in the dark. Behind us, growing distant, the sun burns warm and golden, the great and steady heart of everything. the fire around which all the worlds turn. We will not travel toward it tonight. Tonight we drift the other way, outward, into the cool and quiet dark, past each planet in its turn. But before we go, let your gaze rest on it once, softly. That warm, golden glow is the source of every sunrise you have ever watched, every long summer afternoon, every shadow you have ever stood in, every green and growing thing that has ever fed you. It is so vast that more than 1,000,000 Earths could fit inside it. And yet from out here, it is simply a warm and gentle light, holding all its worlds in a slow and patient embrace. Its light takes a little more than 8 minutes to reach the Earth, so that the sunlight you have felt on your face all your life is always 8 minutes old. A soft message sent across the dark, arriving warm and gentle after its long, quiet journey. Let it warm you one last time before we drift on into the cold and lovely dark. If you could draw very near to it, which we will not, you would see that its glowing surface is never quite still, but forever stirring, soft and slow. Great slow currents of golden fire, rising and falling like the surface of a simmering sea. Cooler, darker patches drifting across it. Now and then, the sunspots, each one wider than a world, appearing and slowly fading over the long turning of its days. And around it, reaching far out into the dark, there hangs a faint soft crown of light, its outermost breath so pale. It can only be seen from Earth in the deep shadow of an eclipse, when the moon slips softly across the sun's bright face, and for a few still minutes the pale crown blooms into view, ghostly and beautiful, before the light returns. All of this happens in perfect silence, a vast and constant slow turning of fire. And yet from out here, it is only that warm and gentle golden glow, patient and steady, as it has burned for billions of years, and as it will burn gently for billions more. The sun holds everything. Every planet we will visit tonight, every moon, every drifting stone, every distant frozen world, at the farthest edge, all of them are held gently by this one warm light, circling it slowly, faithfully, across the ages. Nothing out here is truly alone. Everything is held, and so are you. Let that thought rest softly in you as we turn and drift and begin to move outward into the dark. We drift now toward the first of the planets, the little world that races closest to the sun, Mercury. It comes into view slowly, a small gray world, scarred and cratered like the moon, bare and quiet in the strong golden light. Mercury is a world of great extremes, though from here, drifting softly by, it looks only peaceful. It has almost no air at all to soften its sky, so that its days blaze and its nights freeze, with nothing between them. On the side that faces the sun, it grows hotter than any furnace. On the side that turns away, into the long dark, it falls colder than almost anywhere you could imagine. And it turns so very slowly on itself that its days are longer than its years. If you could stand upon it, the sun would seem to rise, and then to pause, and even to drift backward a little across the sky, before moving on again. So strange and slow is its turning, and the sun in that black sky would hang 3 times larger than we ever see it from home. a great swollen golden fire in a sky with no blue to it at all. For there is almost no air here to catch the light and soften it, so that even in full day the sky stays black and scattered with stars, the fierce sun and the cold stars sharing the same dark sky at once. A single day and night on Mercury, from one sunrise to the next, lasts longer than 2 of its whole years. Time itself seems to move differently here, slow and heavy and strange. And yet, in the deep shadows of its polar craters, where sunlight has never reached in all the billions of years, where the darkness has never once been broken, there is thought to be ancient ice, hidden away in the cold and the dark, waiting patiently in the stillness. Even here, on this scorched and blasted little world, there are quiet corners of frost, kept safe in the shadow, untouched and undisturbed. There is something tender in that. Even the harshest places keep something soft and hidden at their heart. Its whole surface is written over with craters, soft and old, the marks of countless gentle collisions across the long ages. And among them there is one great pale basin, vast and round, so wide it spans a good part of the little world, made long ago, when some great stone came drifting in from the dark and touched it softly in the deep past. All around that basin, the land rose into low and gentle hills, and there they have rested ever since, silent, unchanging, in the strong, still light. Nothing moves on Mercury now. No wind, no water, no cloud. Only the slow turning of the world, and the long, slow march of light and shadow across its ancient face. We do not linger long. Mercury circles quickly, the fastest of all the planets, hurrying around the sun in only 88 days, racing ever onward through the golden light. The old sky watchers named it for a swift and fleet-foot messenger, for the way it darts quickly out from the sun's glow and slips quickly back, hard to catch. Glimpsed only briefly, low in the dusk or the dawn. But we are in no hurry at all. We let it slip behind us, small and gray and quiet, and we drift onward, deeper into the dark. Rest here a while. Let each breath grow a little softer. There is nothing to reach for. We are only drifting, slowly past the quiet worlds, and there is nothing at all for you to do but rest. Ahead, a soft and glowing world begins to rise, wrapped in gentle golden cloud. Venus, the brightest of all the planets, the one that shines in your evening sky like a lamp, the first light to appear at dusk, and the last to fade at dawn. Long ago, people who did not know it was a single world, called it by 2 names, one for the evening and one for the morning, a star of dusk and a star of dawn, never guessing they were gazing at the very same gentle light. From a distance, Venus is beautiful, smooth and pale and luminous, veiled from pole to pole in thick, unbroken cloud. It is almost exactly the size of Earth, our near twin in the dark, so alike in size that we once dreamed it might be a soft and living world beneath its clouds, warm and green and full of gentle seas. But its beauty is a quiet and secret one, for beneath those soft golden clouds lies a hidden world we could never visit. The air there is heavy beyond imagining, pressing down with the weight of a deep ocean, and the clouds are not made of water, but of something far stranger. And the surface below glows with a heat great enough to melt metal. It is a world of slow, still, smothered heat, turning so gently on itself that a single day on Venus lasts longer than its entire year. And stranger still, it turns backward the wrong way round, so that upon its hidden surface, beneath those endless clouds, the sun would rise, if you could ever see it, in the west, and set ever so slowly in the east. Everything about this world is slow and strange, and turned about, drifting to its own quiet, backward rhythm in the golden dark. There is a gentle lesson in Venus, our near twin, so like the Earth in size and shape, born beside it from the same great cloud, and yet grown into something so utterly different, so hidden and so still. Two worlds, almost sisters, that drifted down two different paths, one becoming the soft blue home of everything we love, the other a veiled and silent world of golden cloud. And yet there is no sorrow in it. Venus is beautiful in its own quiet way, serene and luminous, shining brighter than anything in our evening sky, a lovely lamp to light the coming of the night. It asks for nothing. It simply glows and turns and drifts in its slow and secret way. But we do not need to go down into it. We only drift above, watching the soft light play across those endless golden clouds, calm and beautiful and serene, from up here in the cool and quiet dark. Let it glow softly beside you. For a moment, this bright and gentle world, veiled in its secret, turning slowly to its own slow song. And then let it drift slowly behind. Rest here a while. Let your breathing slow. Let each thought that rises simply drift away, like a small, pale world slipping quietly into the dark behind you. You do not need to follow your thoughts tonight. You can watch them come and watch them go, soft and distant, as passing planets, and simply let them drift on by. We journey on, and now we pass a world you know very well, though we see it only from far away. Our own Earth, small and blue in the distance now, a pale and shining dot, and beside it, that faithful silver moon. From here, they are just two soft points of light, a little blue jewel and its tiny companion drifting together through the vast and gentle dark. Look at it there, so small now, so far away. Everyone you have ever known is on that one small point of blue light. Every person who ever lived, every king and every child, every song ever sung and every story ever told, every morning and every night of all of history, all of it held on that single pale blue dot, drifting in the great dark. From out here, all the things that ever seemed so large grow gentle and small and quiet. Let yourself feel the deep and quiet tenderness of that, the preciousness of that small blue home, and the peace of watching over it from far away. And then, gently, let it grow small behind you as we drift further out into the dark toward the red world waiting ahead. Ahead now, glowing with a soft and rusty light, comes the red world. Mars. Mars rises before you, a warm and gentle amber, the color of desert sand at sunset. It is a smaller world than ours, cold and dry and quiet, wrapped in a thin and delicate air. But of all the planets, it feels the most familiar, the most like a place we might one day walk. There are deserts here of red and golden dust, stretching on and on to a soft and hazy horizon, and great still volcanoes. One of them so tall, it climbs 3 times higher than any mountain on Earth. Its gentle slopes rising softly, so wide and so gradual that if you stood upon it, you might never know you were on a mountain at all. And there are canyons so long they would stretch across an entire continent. So deep and so vast they were carved in some ancient age, and rest now in silence, filling slowly with soft shadow as the distant sun goes down. Long ago, the scientists believe, water may have flowed here. Rivers winding through the valleys, and lakes lying still in the low places, and perhaps even wide and shallow seas, gleaming beneath a younger sun. You can still see, they say, the soft old shapes of ancient shorelines, and the winding beds of rivers, long since dry, traced faintly in the red and dusty land. Now Mars is dry and quiet and cold, resting under its thin pink sky, dreaming, perhaps, of the water it once knew, and 2 tiny moons drift close. Above it, Phobos and Deimos, little more than gentle drifting stones, small and dark and lumpen, keeping their quiet watch over the red and sleeping world. The nearer one circles so close and so fast that it rises and sets more than once each day, a small pale shape hurrying across the dusty sky. Let yourself drift low over those soft red dunes, over the still and ancient valleys in the pale and gentle light. The dust here glows warm and rosy, and here is a gentle wonder that on Mars, where the daytime sky is a soft, dusty pink, the sunsets are not red and gold like ours, but a soft and dusky blue, a cool blue glow gathering gently around the setting sun, fading slowly into the dark. Imagine it, a blue sunset on a red world far away. Watch it fade, soft and quiet, and let it carry you a little deeper down towards sleep. Of all the worlds beyond our own, it is Mars that people have dreamed of most and reached toward most, sending small, quiet travelers across the dark to rest upon its surface and roll slowly over its red hills, gazing at its dusty horizons, listening to its thin, soft winds. They are out there still, some of them small and patient, resting on the red plains beneath the pink sky, their long work done, keeping a kind of silent watch over the quiet world. And one day, perhaps, someone will stand where they stand and look out over those red dunes with their own eyes and watch a blue sun set upon another world. But tonight, there is only the stillness and the soft red light and the deep old peace of a world that has been dreaming quietly for longer than there have been dreamers to dream of it. Let that peace be yours now. Let it settle over you like the fine, soft dust, settling slowly back to the ground after the wind has passed. Everything here is calm. Everything is quiet. There is a great and patient peace on Mars, the peace of a place that has been resting undisturbed for a very, very long time. Sometimes, great, slow storms of dust rise up and drift across the whole red face of the world, veiling it softly for weeks, and then they settle, gently, and all is still again. Let yourself rest here with me now, on the quiet red dunes, beneath the soft pink sky. and let the deep patience of this old world settle into your own slowing breath. Rest here a while. Breathe softly. Let the warm red light hold you. You are drifting. You are safe. There is nothing you need to do and nowhere you need to be. And no part of you that is not welcome to rest. And here, before we leave the last of the inner worlds behind, let us pause and settle a little deeper still. Let your attention drift once more, softly, through your body, the way it did when we began. Feel your face and let it soften completely, your brow smooth, your jaw loose, your eyes still and heavy and dark. Feel your shoulders and let them sink further into the bed, further than before. Feel your arms and your hands, warm and heavy and open. Feel your chest rising and falling on its own, slow and easy. Feel your belly soften, your hips grow heavy, your legs go loose and warm all the way down to your feet. Let every part of you, from head to toe, grow just a little softer, just a little heavier, just a little more deeply at rest than it was a moment ago. You have already drifted so far tonight, past the moon, past Mercury and Venus, past the red dunes of Mars. And there is so much gentle dark still ahead, so many quiet worlds still waiting, so much soft drifting still to come. You do not need to stay awake for any of it. Let the journey go on, drifting around you, while you sink slowly down. If sleep comes now, let it come. If it comes later, out among the great cold giants, or at the frozen edge of everything, let it come then. There is no wrong moment. There is only the slow, soft drift and the gentle dark and rest, waiting for you whenever you are ready. Beyond Mars, the worlds grow farther apart, and the dark grows wider between them. We drift now into a great and quiet space, scattered thinly with tumbling stones. This is the asteroid belt, a slow and gentle river of rock and metal, circling the sun in the wide space between the small inner worlds and the giants that lie beyond. You may imagine it as a crowded field, thick with tumbling boulders, the way it is sometimes painted, but it is not like that at all. It is vast and empty and calm. The stones here are spread so far apart that if you stood upon one of them, you might never see another with your eyes. Only soft points of light, no different from the stars. You could drift through this whole great belt and pass nothing at all for a very long time. It is a quiet place, a wide and patient emptiness, gentle and still. The stones here tumble slowly in the dark, some no larger than a pebble, some as wide as a mountain, some as great as small worlds of their own. They turn end over end in the soft golden light, in no hurry, going nowhere, simply drifting, as they have for billions of years. These are the leftover pieces of the solar system's making, small, quiet fragments that never gathered themselves into a world, kept apart long ago by the great pull of the giant Jupiter beyond. And so they remain, scattered and drifting, resting in the long, slow, dark, the unfinished pieces of a planet that never came to be. The largest of them is a small, round world, all its own, called Ceres, gentle and gray, so large and so round that it holds itself into a soft sphere, a tiny planet in its own quiet right. Deep within it, the scientists believe there may be old ice, perhaps even hidden water, sleeping in the cold at its heart. It drifts here at the center of the belt, the quiet keeper of this scattered river of stone, turning slowly, softly, in the dark. We drift among them gently, weaving between the slow tumbling stones, and there is something deeply peaceful in it, this quiet, unhurried river of rock, turning softly in the endless night. Let yourself drift with them. Let yourself turn slowly, weightless and calm, among the gentle wandering stones. There is no danger here. There is only the slow, soft turning, and the wide dark and the distant golden sun, and you drifting at peace. Rest here a while, and as we leave the belt behind, the distances begin to grow. Out here, beyond the small, crowded inner worlds, the planets drift far, far apart, with vast reaches of gentle dark between them. It is easy, when we draw the planets in a row, to imagine them close together, like beads on a string, but they are not. Between each world and the next lies an ocean of empty space so wide that light itself, the fastest thing there is, takes long, slow minutes and then hours to cross it. We drift now through that great softness, that patient emptiness, and there is nothing to see but the far scattered stars and the small bright sun behind us, and nothing to do but drift, slowly, gently, through the quiet. Let the wideness of it soothe you rather than frighten you. There is so much room out here, so much soft, open dark, room enough for every thought to spread out thin and drift away. Room enough to let your breathing slow and slow and slow again, with nothing at all pressing in upon you. Let yourself sink into the gentle vastness, small and safe and weightless, carried onward through the dark toward the giant that waits ahead. And now, far ahead, a great light begins to grow. A world so large it makes everything we have seen so far seem small. The giant of our solar system, Jupiter. It rises before you slowly, and it keeps rising, growing larger and larger until it fills the whole of the sky. A vast and glowing sphere of soft cloud, banded in creams and golds and gentle browns. Jupiter is so enormous that all the other planets together could fit inside it with room to spare. More than 1,000 Earths could vanish within it. It is not a world of rock like the ones behind us. It is a world of deep and endless cloud, a great slow storm of a planet with no solid ground at all, only cloud giving way to deeper cloud, down and down, into a warm and glowing heart. Those bands you see are winds, vast and slow and patient, flowing around the planet in gentle stripes, some drifting one way, some the other, folding and swirling softly where they meet, curling into slow eddies and gentle waves that turn for years on end. Down and down those clouds go, they believe, layer beneath layer, growing warmer and thicker and stranger, until far below, deeper than the mind can follow, the very air is pressed so hard, it turns slowly into something like a warm and endless sea, a deep, dark ocean, with no shore and no surface, wrapping the whole heart of the giant. There is no ground on Jupiter to ever land upon, no solid place at all, only cloud giving way to deeper cloud, and mist to warmer mist all the way down, and around it all, unseen, there stretches a vast and and invisible field, a great magnetic breath reaching far out into space, within which its poles glow with their own soft auroras, gentle curtains of light, shimmering at the top and bottom of the world, far larger than the whole of the earth. And around its middle, thin and dark and easy to miss, there drifts a faint and delicate ring of its own, a soft veil of fine dust, quiet and almost hidden in the giant's glow. And there, in the southern half, a great soft oval of deep rose and amber. This is the great red spot, a storm so wide that our whole Earth could sink into it and vanish without a trace. A storm that has been turning slowly for hundreds of years, longer than anyone has watched the sky, longer than anyone can remember. And yet from here, it does not feel fierce. It turns so slowly, so smoothly, that it seems almost to be sleeping, a great calm eye in the drifting clouds. A slow rose, whirlpool that has been turning gently since long before you were born, and will go on turning long after this quiet night is done. Let yourself float here a while in the soft glow of the greatest of the planets. Watch the slow drift of the clouds, the gentle folding of the bands, the great rose storm turning, in no hurry at all. Feel how small you are, how gently held, adrift beside this vast and quiet giant. There is nothing to fear here, only wonder, only the slow turning of an enormous, peaceful world, glowing softly in the dark, and around Jupiter drift its many moons, dozens upon dozens of them, small and large, near and far. 4 of them are great worlds in their own right, and we drift now, slowly, past each one. The first is Io, closest to the giant, glowing faintly with a soft and sulphurous gold. It is a restless little world, warmed and squeezed by the great pull of Jupiter, so that gentle volcanoes stir upon its surface, breathing soft plumes up into the dark. But from here, drifting past, it is only a small golden light turning quietly beside its enormous parent. Beyond it drifts Europa, smooth and pale and gleaming, wrapped in a shell of bright cracked ice, laced all over with soft lines like the veins of a leaf, or the fine cracks in a frozen pond. And here is one of the loveliest secrets in all the solar system, for beneath that shell of ice, they believe, lies a whole hidden ocean, a deep, dark sea of liquid water, wider and deeper than all the oceans of the earth, sealed away in the cold and the quiet, never touched by light. It has been sleeping there, that silent ocean, since the beginning of things, dark and still and warm beneath the ice, stirred gently by the slow pull of the giant, never once seeing the light of the distant sun. And who can say what dreams in such a sea, or whether anything dreams there at all? It is enough tonight simply to know that it is there, a deep, warm ocean, sealed in ice, far out in the cold, resting in the perfect dark. Let yourself rest a moment beside it. This small, pale world with a whole secret sea dreaming beneath its frozen skin. There is something in it that feels like sleep itself, a deep and quiet warmth, held safe beneath a still and gentle surface, undisturbed, unhurried, at perfect peace. Beyond Europa drifts Ganymede, the largest moon in all the solar system, larger even than the planet Mercury, great gray and gold world with its own faint magnetic breath, ancient and calm. And furthest of the four drifts, Callisto, dark and heavily cratered, one of the oldest and most quiet faces in all the sun's family, marked with the soft scars of countless ages, resting now in the deep and gentle dark. They drift around their giant in slow and faithful circles. These four great moons, small lights, turning about a great one, keeping their patient orbits as they have for billions of years in a slow and silent dance in the dark. Galileo first saw them long ago, four little points of light beside the bright planet, moving night by night, and it was among the first quiet proofs that not everything circles the Earth, that there are other centers, other worlds, other slow and faithful dances happening out here in the dark, entirely without us. Let yourself watch them turn and feel the deep old peace of it. Four small faithful moons circling their giant, slow and silent and sure, keeping the same patient orbits they have kept since long before the first eyes on Earth ever looked up to find them. Everything out here moves in its own slow, gentle rhythm, faithful and unhurried, needing nothing, hurrying nowhere. Let your own breath fall into that same slow rhythm now, gentle and sure, in and out, like a small, quiet moon, circling softly in the dark. Rest now. Breathe softly. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the warm and drifting calm. Let the great soft glow of Jupiter hold you, and the slow turning of its moons, and the deep quiet of the space all around. You are so far from home, and yet so safe, so gently carried. There is nothing here that can trouble you. There is only wonder and stillness and rest. Let us pause here a while, in the great soft glow of the giant, and simply breathe together, slow and easy. Breathe in gently, and let the breath fill you softly. And breathe out, long and slow, letting go a little more. And again in soft and unhurried, and out softer still. With each slow breath, feel yourself grow heavier, warmer, more deeply at rest. There is nothing you must do. There is nowhere you must be. The whole vast solar system turns slowly around you, patient and unhurried, and asks nothing of you at all, only that you rest and drift and let yourself be carried. Let the count of your breath grow slow. Let the giant's soft light wash over you. Let the deep quiet of space settle into every part of you, from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes, soft and warm and still. And when you are ready, without any hurry at all, we will drift on again, gently into the deepening dark toward the beautiful, ringed world that waits ahead. We have come a long way already, past the small worlds and the river of stone, and the great golden giant, and there is so much soft dark still ahead, so much quiet still to drift through. There is no need to hurry through any of it. Let it carry you slowly, gently down. And sometimes, out here in the dark between the worlds, something small and bright goes drifting slowly past, trailing a long, soft veil of pale light behind it. A comet, a small wanderer of ice and dust, fallen inward from the far frozen edges of the solar system, warming as it nears the distant sun, its ice turning softly to a glowing haze that streams away behind it in a long and gentle tail, always pointing away from the sun, gently pushed by the soft pressure of its light, so that the comet drifts sometimes tail first as it swings back out into the cold. For most of its long life, it is only a small, dark, frozen stone, drifting patiently in the deep, and only for these few bright moments as it nears the warmth does it wake and glow and grow its shining veil, before cooling once more and slipping back into the dark. They come rarely, and they pass slowly, and then they swing away again, back out into the dark, not to return for hundreds or thousands of years. Some of the comets people have watched will not come again until long after everyone alive. Tonight has passed gently into memory, returning to a world that will have forgotten they were ever expected. Let one drift softly past you now, its pale tail trailing across the stars, silent and beautiful, and then let it go out into the deep on its long, slow, patient journey as we go on our own. We move onward slowly, and the sun behind us grows smaller and paler, now a bright and distant star. The dark grows deeper, the cold grows softer and more complete. And ahead, rising out of the gentle dark, comes perhaps the most beautiful world of all, Saturn. You know this one already. You have drifted here before, among its rings, in another quiet night. And here it is, again, waiting, patient and lovely, exactly as you remember. That great pale golden globe, softer and gentler than Jupiter, wrapped in smooth and hazy cloud, the color of cream and honey and pale gold. And around it, spread wide and luminous, in the dark those fusimus rings, glowing softly in the distant sunlight, a vast and delicate halo of ice and light. The rings are made of countless pieces of ice, from tiny grains no bigger than dust, to great tumbling boulders as large as houses, each one a tiny moon, each one circling Saturn in perfect and silent order. From far away they seem a solid ribbon of light, smooth and pale and gleaming, but drift close, and you see them part into countless fine and shining bands, thousands upon thousands of them, wheeling slowly around the golden world, catching the far light of the sun and giving it softly back. And though they stretch so wide that they would nearly reach from the earth to the moon, they are so thin, so delicate, that from the side they very nearly vanish, a bright line, drawn fine as a whisper across the dark. And within the rings there are gaps, soft dark lanes where the ice thins away to nothing, swept clean and kept open by tiny moons that drift within the rings themselves, small, quiet shepherds circling endlessly, their gentle pull holding the bright bands in their perfect, ordered place. Some of these little moons drift along the very edges of the gaps, tracing them sharp and clean, hurting the ice with nothing but their slow and patient presence. And far above, at the very top of the planet, at its northern pole, there turns one of the strangest and most beautiful things. In all the solar system, a great slow storm, shaped like a perfect six-sided figure, a soft cloud drawn into 6 clean, gentle edges, turning there, calm and steady, wider than several Earths, a quiet geometry sketched in cloud at the crown of the golden world. No one is quite sure why it takes that shape. It simply turns there, softly, patient and strange and lovely, as it has for as long as we have watched. Let yourself drift once through that quiet, gleaming light, weightless and calm, watching the slow and silent turning of the rings. Let the pale gold glow wash over you, gentle as candlelight. There is a hush here among the rings, a soft and shining stillness that seems made for rest. And Saturn, too, has its moons drifting beyond the rings in the golden dark. The greatest of them is Titan, larger than the planet Mercury, and the only moon in all the solar system, wrapped in a thick and hazy air of its own. A soft orange veil that hides its surface from our eyes. And beneath that veil, they have found is a strange and gentle world, with rivers and lakes and soft rain, though not of water, for it is far too cold for that, but of other things turned liquid in the deep, cold, gentle seas, lying still beneath the oranged haze, and a soft, slow drizzle falling through the dark. A world with weather and shorelines and quiet lakes, far out here in the frozen dark. Let yourself rest a moment beside it, this hazy amber moon with its cold and quiet seas. And there is small Enceladus, bright and white and gleaming, the whitest world in all the solar system, wrapped in fresh, clean ice. And from cracks near its southern pole, it breathes soft plumes of icy mist up into the dark, feeding the faint rings around it. For beneath its bright shell, too, there lies a hidden sea of dark water, sending up its gentle breath of frost. So many hidden oceans, out here in the cold and the dark, sealed away and sleeping beneath the ice. So many quiet secrets kept safe in the deep. We do not stay long, for you have rested here before, among the rings and their gentle moons. But let the pale gold light hold you once more, soft and warm, and then softly we drift on, out past Saturn, into the far and quiet dark, where few things ever travel. Rest here a while. You are drifting further from home now, further than most things ever go, and yet you are safe, and you are held, and there is nothing at all for you to do but drift, and breathe, and rest. Let the last soft glimmer of Saturn's rings fade gently behind you. And here, in the quiet beyond Saturn, let us simply rest a while and breathe before we go on. Let your body grow heavy again. Feel the gentle weight of the blanket, the softness of the pillow, the slow rise and fall of your own breath. Out here, so far from home, everything moves so slowly that time itself seems to soften and stretch. There is no rush to reach the next world. It will drift toward us in its own good time. For now, there is only this, the soft dark, the distant stars, the small warm sun far behind, and you drifting at peace. Take a slow breath in and let it out, longer and softer than before, and another, gentle and unhurried. With each breath, let yourself drift a little deeper, a little further down, as though you were sinking slowly through warm, dark, endless water, held all the while, safe all the while, going gently down. If you look back now, the way we came, you can see the long, dark road of our journey, all the worlds strung out behind us in the dark, and the sun grown small and pale at the far end of it. And if you turn your gaze the other way, out into the deep, you can begin to see, faint and soft across the whole of the sky, a pale band of light made of countless stars too far and too many to tell apart, blurred together into a soft glowing river, spilling across the dark. That is the Milky Way, our own great gathering of stars, the vast, slow wheel of suns to which our sun belongs. From here, far out in the quiet dark, you can see it more clearly than from any place on earth, a soft river of light flowing silently across the night. Let it hold your gaze a moment, gentle and endless, and then let your eyes grow soft again and rest. The dark out here is deeper. The sun is a small, bright star now, no longer a great warm fire, only a single point of light among the others, though still the brightest by far. Its warmth barely reaches this far. The cold is deep and soft and complete. And ahead, moving slowly toward us out of that deep and gentle dark, comes a world of soft and dreaming blue. Uranus. It is a calm and quiet world, smooth and pale, wrapped in a haze of gentle blue and green, the color of shallow water, the color of a still lagoon. At dusk, the color of the last soft light before sleep. There are no great storms here that we can see, no bold bands of color like Jupiter's, no shining rings like Saturn's to catch the eye. Only a soft, even glow, serene and cool and pale, smooth as a bead of sea glass, quiet as a held breath. Uranus is a world of ice and gas, far colder than the giants behind us, one of the coldest of all the planets, drifting in the deep and quiet cold at the far edge of the sun's warmth. And it turns in a strange and gentle way, this world. Long ago, it seems, in the wild young days of the solar system, something struck it, or tipped it, and rolled it over onto its side, so that now it circles, the sun tilted almost fully over, its poles, where its middle should be, rolling around its long orbit like a slow ball turning on the dark. And so its seasons are long and strange, beyond imagining, each one lasting more than 20 years, so that one pole faces the sun through a summer 20 years long, while the other rests in a winter of equal darkness, a slow turning of the years, so gradual it can hardly be felt at all. Around it drift its own faint rings, dark and delicate, hard to see, thin, dark hoops of shadowed ice circling the tilted world and its own small, quiet moons, named not for gods, as the others are, but for figures out of old stories and old plays, Miranda and Ariel, Umbriel, Titania and Oberon, gentle names for gentle worlds, turning softly in the pale blue light. The smallest of them, Miranda, is a strange and lovely little thing. Its surface, a soft patchwork of cliffs and grooves and gentle terraces, as though it were once broken softly apart and drew itself gently back together again, healed and quiet now, drifting close beside its pale blue world, so far out here in the deep cold and the dim distant light. These little moons keep their slow and faithful orbits, patient and unhurried, circling the sideways world through its long, strange years, turning in the dark as they have turned for all the ages. And Uranus takes so long to circle the distant sun, 84 of our years for a single one of its own, that a person could live a whole long life upon the earth, and Uranus would not once complete its slow and patient way around. Let yourself drift here a moment in the soft and dreaming blue. Everything is calm. Everything is still and cool and quiet. Let that quiet coolness settle over you like a soft and gentle blanket drawn up in the dark. Let yourself grow heavier, drowsier, softer, drifting in the pale blue light at the far edge of things, further from home than you have ever been, and yet perfectly, gently safe. Rest here a while. There is no hurry. There has never been any hurry, and now we come to the last of the great planets, the farthest world of all that circles in the sun's family of worlds, out in the deep and gentle dark. Neptune. It rises before you, a deep and vivid blue, richer and darker than Uranus. The blue of the deepest ocean, the blue of the sky in the last moments before full night, the blue you sometimes see behind your eyes as you are falling asleep. It is a world so far from the sun that its light out here is faint and pale, a dim and gentle glow, and yet Neptune shines with a deep and lovely color all its own, a soft and glowing sapphire in the dark. There are gentle winds here, and yet they are, strangely, the fastest winds in all the solar system, faster than any storm on Earth, and yet they move in perfect silence, and from here they only trace soft, pale streaks of cloud across that deep blue face, high white wisps drifting slowly by, casting their faint shadows on the blue below. Now and then, a dark and gentle storm gathers in its clouds, a soft shadowed hollow the size of a world, and turns for a while, and then softly fades away again into the endless blue. Neptune is so very far away, so deep in the dark, that it takes 160 of our years to circle the sun just once. Since it was first found in all the years that people have known it is there, it has completed only a single one of its long, slow years. It moves through the dark, unhurried, patient beyond all understanding, in no rush at all, drifting its slow and stately way around. A sun, so distant, it is little more than a bright star in its dark blue sky. And there is a quiet wonder in how we came to know it. For Neptune was found not by chance, and not by searching the sky, but by thought alone. Long ago, astronomers watched Uranus drifting along its path and saw that something, gently, was pulling it a little off its way, some unseen world out in the dark, tugging at it softly with an invisible hand. And so, with nothing but patience and pen and paper, they worked out where that hidden world must be, and pointed their telescopes to the very spot the numbers named. And there it was, waiting, deep blue and quiet in the dark, exactly where the gentle mathematics had promised. A whole world found first in the mind and only then in the sky. Let yourself rest in the soft wonder of that the dark can be so patiently understood, that even the farthest hidden things leave their gentle trace and can be found and known and loved. And around it drifts its largest moon, Triton, pale and cold and quiet, one of the coldest places in all the solar system, wrapped in soft pink and white frost. And Triton circles its world backward, the wrong way round, against the turning of the planet, as though it came from somewhere else long ago, and was gently caught and kept. Upon its frozen face, soft geysers of icy mist rise slowly into the thin, dark air, gentle plumes of frost, drifting up from the pale, cold ground, a quiet breath upon the coldest of worlds. A small and gentle mystery, turning softly backward in the dark. And because it circles the wrong way against its planet's turning, it is slowly, ever so slowly, drifting inward, drawn gently closer across ages beyond all counting, so that in some far and distant age, it may drift close enough to be softly unwound into a delicate ring of ice around its blue world, a new pale halo for Neptune, long after tonight. But that is so far off, so unimaginably far, that we need not think of it now. Tonight, Triton simply turns, pale and cold and quiet, breathing its soft plumes of frost into the dark, keeping its slow backward watch at the edge of the sun's great worlds. Let yourself rest here a while, beside cold Triton and deep blue Neptune, at the last of the giants. We have come so very far. Almost all the great worlds are behind us now. Ahead lies only the scattered ice, and the last quiet edge, and the deep open dark beyond. But there is no need to hurry onward. Let us simply drift here a moment. You and I, in the deep blue quiet, and breathe and rest. Feel the slow rise and fall of your breath. Feel the gentle weight of your body in the bed. Feel how far you have drifted, and how safe you still are, held all the while, carried all the while, gently through the dark. Let yourself rest here, in the deep and peaceful blue, at the last of the great worlds. Behind you now lie all the planets, all strung out along the long, dark road we have traveled, each one resting in its place, each one you have drifted gently past. And ahead lies only the deep and open dark, and the faint, scattered lights of the frozen edge, and beyond it all, the stars. Let yourself feel how far you have come, so gently, so slowly, and let that soft wonder carry you deeper down. Rest here a while. Breathe softly. You have come so far, so gently. There is nothing left to do but drift. And now, the dark grows deeper than any we have known. Beyond Neptune, the sun is no longer anything you could call a sun at all. Only the brightest star in a sky full of stars. A single sharp point of white light that gives almost no warmth now. Only a faint and distant gleam. If you held up your hand out here, it would cast no shadow you could see. The cold is deep and complete and perfect. A cold that has never once been broken, older than the earth, older than the sun's first light upon the seas. And the quiet is deeper still, a silence so vast and so unbroken that it feels almost like a presence, gentle and patient, wrapping softly around you. There is nothing frightening in it. It is the quiet of a place where nothing has ever hurried, where nothing has ever been afraid, where everything simply drifts and rests and waits in the long, slow patience of the dark. Let yourself drift out into it now, slow and calm and unafraid, further than the great planets, out toward the frozen edge. Let the deep, cold quiet hold you, the way the dark of your own room holds you now, soft and safe and still. We move onward into the outer dark, and here the worlds grow small and scattered and far apart. This is the realm of ice, a great wide belt of small frozen worlds drifting slowly at the edge of the Sun's family. Here we find Pluto, that small and distant world, once counted among the planets and beloved still by all who ever learned its name. It is a little world of ice and pale rock, wrapped in a thin and delicate blue haze, colder than almost anywhere we have been, and yet lovely and gentle and full of quiet wonder. For when at last a small traveler from Earth flew past it, after a journey of 9 long years across the dark, it found not a dead gray stone, as some had feared, but a soft and varied world, marked with a great pale shape upon its surface, smooth and bright, that looks, from far away, a little like a heart, laid gently upon the face of the world. Within that pale heart lies a wide, smooth plain of soft, frozen ice, so young and so smooth that it seems to renew itself slowly over the ages, turning gently like something almost alive. And there are soft mountains of water ice, hard as rock in the deep cold, and pale plains, and a thin, blue sky, all resting in the faint and distant light. And Pluto does not drift alone. It has a moon, Charon, so close and so large, half the size of Pluto itself, that the two of them do not simply circle one another as most worlds, and their moons do. Instead, they turn slowly around, a point in the space between them, forever facing one another, forever showing each other the same gentle face, a pair of frozen worlds waltzing softly, slowly, cheek to cheek, in the deep and distant dark. Let yourself rest a moment beside them, this small, heart-marked world and its close companion, turning gently together at the edge of everything. And Pluto is only one of many. All around, drifting far apart in the deep cold, are countless other small frozen worlds, worlds of ice and stone, some with strange and lovely names, all turning slowly in the faint and distant light. There is Eris, far out and cold and pale, almost the twin of Pluto in size, drifting so far away that it takes hundreds of our years to circle the sun even once. There is Makemake, and there is Haumea, a strange and lovely world spun so quickly that it has stretched itself gently into the shape of an egg, turning end over end in the dark, wrapped in bright ice, with 2 tiny moons of its own. And there are countless others, unnamed and unseen, small and dark and quiet, scattered through the deep. And out here, too, drifts one of the most distant places any traveler from Earth has ever visited, a small and gentle world, far beyond Pluto, made of 2 soft round lobes joined tenderly together, like 2 worlds that drifted slowly toward one another long ago and came to rest, cheek to cheek, and never parted. It turns there, reddish and quiet, in the deep cold and the faint far light, so distant that the little traveler which flew past it was 4 billion miles and more from home. This is the Kuiper Belt, the last wide ring of the Sun's family Aquarius wanderers, of frozen wanderers at the edge of everything, spread so far apart that each drifts alone in a vast and gentle solitude, in a cold so deep and so still it has never once been disturbed. Let yourself drift among them now, slow and calm and weightless, through the soft and gentle dark. The sun here is only a bright star, no longer warm, only a small kind light in a sky full of countless others, so distant now that its light takes hours to reach this far, arriving faint and pale and gentle, and yet it is still there, still shining, still holding all these small frozen worlds gently in its far embrace. As it holds you, as it has held everything, all the long way out. And here, at the frozen edge, let yourself look back one last time along the whole long road we have traveled tonight. All of it is behind you now. The bright blue earth and its silver moon. The small gray world of Mercury close to the fire. The golden veiled beauty of Venus. The soft red dunes of Mars and its blue and dusky sunsets. The quiet drifting river of stone. The great glowing giant Jupiter with its 4 faithful moons. Lovely Saturn wrapped in its shining rings. The pale dreaming blue of Uranus tilted on its side. The deep sapphire calm of Neptune and cold backward Triton. All of them strung out behind you along the dark, each one resting in its place. Each one you have drifted gently past, each one now grown small and far away. What a long, soft journey it has been, and you have carried nothing the whole way. You have only drifted and rested and let yourself be carried further and further into the gentle dark. Rest here a while at the frozen edge of the sun's long reach. You are so far from home now, and yet you are not lost. You are held. You are safe. You are simply drifting, gently, at the quiet edge of everything you have ever known. Let the deep peace of this far place settle fully into you now. And now we come to the last border of all. For as we drift onward, the sun's warmth fades, and so too does its wind, that soft and endless stream of light and tiny particles that has been flowing past us all this way, from the sun outward into the dark, filling the whole vast bubble of space in which all the planets drift. Out here, at last, that gentle wind grows thin and slow, and finally it fades away entirely, blending softly into the greater silence of the space between the stars. This is the edge of the sun's own quiet realm, the last soft boundary of its long reach, where its breath finally stills and the great open ocean of the galaxy begins. A soft and invisible shore, out here in the deep where the solar system ends and the wider dark begins. Only a very few things made by human hands have ever drifted this far. Small, quiet travelers, launched long ago, in the years before many of us were born, that flew past the great planets one by one, past Jupiter and Saturn, past Uranus and Neptune, and then sailed onward, out past everything, gathering speed from the giants as they went, until they crossed this final shore and passed out into the space between the stars. They are out here still, somewhere in this deep silence, drifting, drifting ever outward, growing colder and quieter, their small voices grown faint and then falling silent at last, but drifting on all the same, and they will drift on for millions of years. And each of them carries with it a soft golden message from home, a record of who we were and where we came from, sounds and pictures and gentle greetings in many voices. The songs and the seas and the laughter of the earth, sealed in gold against the long, cold dark, in case, in some far age beyond all imagining, some other gentle traveler should ever find them and wonder and know that once on a small blue world there were beings who looked up at the stars and longed to reach them. They will drift for millions of years, patient and silent, out among the stars, carrying that soft golden memory of home. Let yourself feel a quiet tenderness for them, these small, brave travelers, sailing gently on into the endless dark, never afraid, never lonely, carrying a little piece of home with them, wherever they go, forever. Rest here a while, at the last shore of the sun. There is no fear in this place, only a deep and gentle wonder, and a great soft quiet, and the slow drift onward into the dark. And now, far beyond even this, we come to the very outermost edge, a vast and gentle shell of icy worlds so distant that the sun is barely more than the brightest of the stars. This is the Oort cloud, a great soft sphere of frozen wanderers surrounding the whole of the solar system on every side, so far out and so wide that light itself, which crosses from the sun to the earth in only 8 minutes, takes more than a year to reach even the near edge of it, and far longer still to cross to the other side. Here, in the deep and perfect cold, drift countless frozen worlds, slow and silent, so far apart that each one drifts utterly alone, in a vast and gentle solitude, in a dark so complete and so still that nothing there has changed in billions of years. These are the sleeping comets, resting far out in the cold, waiting. Now and then, over ages beyond all counting, one of them is stirred, ever so softly, by the faint, far pull of a passing star, and it begins the long, slow fall inward, tumbling gently back toward the distant sun, a journey of thousands upon thousands of years, to become, one day in some far future, a bright comet blazing softly across some far future sky, trailing its long, pale tail before it swings away again into the dark. But most of them simply drift, out here, in the deep and endless quiet, at the very edge of home, unmoving, undisturbed, resting in the cold and the dark as they have since the beginning of all things. This great, soft shell of sleeping worlds reaches so far out that it may stretch nearly halfway to the very nearest star, so that the edge of our sun's family and the edge of the next almost softly touch. Out here in the dark, two great gentle spheres of drifting ice, brushing at their farthest, faintest reaches. It is the true and final edge of home, this slow cloud of frozen wanderers, the outermost quiet shore of everything the sun still holds. And even here, even at this unimaginable distance, the sun still gently holds them, still calls them softly home across the ages, its pull grown faint as a whisper, and yet never, ever letting go. Let yourself drift here a while, among the sleeping comets, in the deepest quiet there is. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere further we need to go for now. There is only the soft, cold dark, and the distant, patient stars, and the slow, gentle drift, and your own quiet growing slower and softer and deeper, carrying you gently down towards sleep. We drift out through them now, slow and calm, through the last soft scattering of frozen worlds, and ahead there is only the deep and open dark, scattered with the countless steady lights of distant stars. Behind us, the whole of the solar system, all the planets, all the moons, all the ice and stone. Everything we have drifted past tonight is gathered now around one small, bright star, growing slowly smaller in the great and gentle dark. Our whole familiar world, our whole long journey, the sun and all its worlds, folded now into a single point of warm and distant light, one soft star among the many. Rest here with me now, at the very edge of everything. There is no fear out here, only a deep and boundless peace. The stars shine steady and soft all around you, in every direction, above and below and on every side, each one a distant sun, each one perhaps with worlds of its own, drifting quietly in the dark, each one holding its own small family of planets in its own gentle embrace, and you float among them, weightless and safe and calm, held gently in the great soft silence between the stars. And if you let your gaze wander softly across that dark, you may find, far off in the distance, one star that glows a little warmer, a little closer than the rest. It is the nearest star to our own sun, and yet, even it is so far away that its light, racing across the emptiness faster than anything can ever travel, faster than thought, takes more than 4 years to reach us. The little travelers we launched, drifting outward even now, will take tens of thousands of years to cross even a small part of that distance. Long after everyone who built them is gone, long after the cities that sent them have crumbled softly back into the earth, they will still be drifting, patient and silent, out through the dark, passing no closer to any star for ages upon ages, alone in the great soft quiet. And in tens of thousands of years, one of them will drift, at last, somewhere near another star, a stranger sun with strange worlds of its own, and pass it slowly by, and drift on again into the dark beyond. The gulfs out here are beyond all imagining, vast and silent and deep, oceans of dark so wide that the mind cannot hold them, and time out here is just as vast, ages folding into ages, patient beyond all understanding. And yet there is a deep comfort in it too, for nothing out here is ever rushed. Nothing is ever late. Nothing must be finished by any hour. The stars keep their slow, ancient courses, in no hurry at all, and the little travelers drift on through the endless dark, in no hurry at all. And out here, there is time enough for everything. Time without end, soft and patient and deep. Let that ease you now. Let the great, unhurried patience of the dark undo the last of the day's small rushing, and let your own breath slow to the slow, deep rhythm of the stars. And yet, there is nothing frightening in them tonight. There is only space, endless and open and calm, room enough to let every thought unspool and drift away, room enough to let the mind grow as quiet and as wide as the dark itself. All the small worries of the day are so far away now, so small, lost, somewhere back on that one pale point of light. And out here, there is only the soft drift and the gentle stars and the deep and boundless peace. Between the stars, the space is not truly empty. soft and unimaginably thin. There drift faint clouds of gas and gentle dust, glowing softly where the light of distant stars falls through them. Pale veils of rose and blue and violet, hanging silent in the dark. These are the slow nurseries of the stars, the deep, quiet clouds from which, over ages beyond counting, new suns are gently born, and new worlds, and perhaps one far day, new places where someone might lie down at night and gaze up at the sky. And all of it, all the stars around you, all the pale drifting clouds, all the countless distant suns, belongs to one great gathering, our own vast wheel of stars, the galaxy we call the Milky Way. It holds hundreds of billions of stars, so many that if you tried to count them, one each second, you would never finish in 100 lifetimes. And our own sun, with all its worlds, with all our long journey tonight, is but a single one of them, one small warm star, drifting somewhere in the great slow turning wheel, far out toward its quiet edge. The whole of the solar system, everything we have drifted through tonight, is only the tiniest gentle speck within it, a single dewdrop in a vast and silent sea. And the galaxy itself turns, slowly, grandly, carrying all its stars around together in a great slow circle that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete, so slow that no eye could ever see it move, and yet always turning, patient and unhurried through the deep of time. There is something wonderfully restful in that, to be so small, to be one gentle speck among the countless, held in the same great slow turning as all the stars, needing to carry nothing, needing to hold nothing up, free simply to drift and to belong and to rest. Let yourself feel it now, that soft belonging, that gentle smallness, and let it ease every last thing you are still holding out of your hands and into the wide and patient dark, and the old shapes of the sky, the patterns, the sky watchers, drew long ago among the stars, the hunter and the swan, the great bear and the little one, the patient patterns you may have learned to find on summer nights. All of them soften and come apart out here. For those shapes were only ever drawn from home, from that one small point of view. The near stars and the far ones, flattened together against the dark, drift out among them, and they scatter gently into their true and separate places, some near, some impossibly far, no longer figures at all, only countless soft suns hanging at every distance in the deep. There is a quiet freedom in that, in letting the old familiar shapes dissolve, in letting the mind grow wide enough to hold the stars as they truly are, scattered and gentle and free. Let your own thoughts scatter softly too, out into that wideness, no longer needing to hold any shape at all, free simply to drift and dim and rest. Let yourself float here, weightless in the deep, with the soft stars all around you and the pale, glowing river of the galaxy spilling silently across the whole of the dark. There is no floor and no ceiling here, no up and no down, only the gentle, endless space holding you softly on every side. You could close your eyes here and drift forever and never fall and never be lost, held always in the great soft quiet. So let your eyes grow heavy now. Let them close. You do not need them anymore tonight. The journey will go on, drifting gently around you, whether you watch it or not. And it is time, now, at last, to let yourself sink all the way down. You cannot truly see them from here. Only feel, somehow, the deep and patient quiet of them, waiting in the dark, in no hurry at all, across time longer than the mind can hold. Everything out here moves slowly. Everything out here is patient. Everything out here is at rest. Let that same deep patience settle into you now. Unhurried, boundless, calm. Let yourself drift here, weightless and warm within your blanket, among the soft and countless stars, among the pale drifting veils of light. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to reach. You have already come further than you ever dreamed, further than almost anything from Earth has ever gone. And there is nothing left now but to float and to breathe and to let the great gentle silence hold you. Rest here a while in the deep and boundless quiet between the stars. You are safe. You are held. You are so very far from every worry, so very far from every small and hurried thing, so gently, perfectly at peace. There is only the soft light of distant suns and the slow drift of the dark, and your own quiet breathing, easing, softening, slowing, carrying you down. And now, so slowly, let the images begin to soften and fade. Let the stars blur gently into a soft and glowing haze. Let the pale veils of light dissolve. Let the planets, one by one, drift quietly away into the dark behind you. Neptune and Saturn, and Jupiter and Mars, and all the rest fading softly, one by one, like lamps going gently out. You do not need to hold on to any of it. You do not need to remember the journey. You only need to rest now, here in the deep and gentle quiet. Let your body grow heavy again, warm and soft and still, cradled in your bed, held safely in the dark. Feel the pillow beneath your head, the blanket resting over you, the quiet of your room gathered gently around you. You are home. You never truly left. You only drifted, softly among the stars. And now you are here, safe and warm. And there is nothing left to do but sleep. Let your breathing slow. Let each breath grow softer than the last, quieter, gentler, further apart. There is nothing more to do. Nowhere else to go. No further to travel. The journey is over, and you are home, and you are safe, and you are held. And as the journey fades, let your breathing grow slower still. Breathe in softly the quiet of the night, and breathe out, and let yourself grow heavier, sinking a little deeper into the bed with every breath. There is nothing to think about now. There is nothing to solve, nothing to plan, nothing to remember. All of that can wait until morning, and morning is a long, long way off. For now, there is only the warm dark, and the soft bed, and your own slow, gentle breathing carrying you down. Feel how heavy your body has become, warm and loose and still, sinking softly into the mattress, held completely, safe completely. Your arms heavy and warm, your legs heavy and soft, your whole body at rest, needing nothing, doing nothing, simply resting in the quiet dark. And your mind too, growing soft and slow and quiet, the last few thoughts drifting away like distant stars, dimming, fading, going gently out. There is nowhere you need to go. There is nothing you need to do. You have drifted past every world, all the way to the edge of everything. And now you have come home again to your own warm bed, in your own quiet room, in the soft and gentle dark. And here you may rest, as deeply and as long as you like. Let the last of the starlight fade. Let the last soft thought drift away, like a comet slipping quietly back into the dark. Let yourself sink down gently into the warm and quiet dark, deeper and deeper, softer and softer, all the way down into sleep. You have drifted to the edge of everything and back again, and now you may rest. Let each breath now grow softer than the last. Let the space between your breaths grow gently longer, quieter, deeper. There is no need to hold on to your thoughts. Let them drift away into the dark, one by one, soft and slow, like the planets fading behind you, like the last far stars going dim. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to keep any of them. Let them go, gently, and let the quiet come. Feel how completely you are held. The bed beneath you, holding all your weight. The blanket over you, soft and warm. The dark of your room, gentle all around. You do not have to do anything to be held. You do not have to try. You are already safe, already carried, already home. All you must do now is let go and sink and sleep. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to reach. There is only sleep, warm and soft and waiting, gathering you gently in, like the deep dark gathers the stars. Let yourself drift down now, softer and slower, deeper and warmer, past the edge of waking, down into the gentle dark, down into sleep. I will stay with you as you go, soft and quiet, until you no longer need the words at all. You are safe. You are held. You are so deeply, so completely at peace. Rest. Now. Let go now. Drift now, gently, all the way down. Sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep.